Ms. William, hopefully you're a creative videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I attended the Dallas Independent School District Board meeting today, and here's what I found. Something very interesting and totally unexpected. We have many great events that have happened, great speakers, so there's no need for me to speak up for them. They have all the facts.
We're now up to our public speakers. This segment is for speakers who wish to address agenda items. We're also going to allow non-agenda items to speak at the beginning of our meeting. If there are no objections, please. Speakers are reminded that they are to address the board and not individual trustees. Ms. Grant, will you call the speakers' names?
Yes, the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees welcomes citizens, visitors, and employees to its meetings. In order for the board to hold this meeting in an effective manner, this meeting will be conducted in an orderly fashion, and we ask the public to abide by the rules outlined in Board Policy BED Local pertaining to public participation. Any person making personal, impertinent, profane, or slanderous remarks, or who becomes boisterous while addressing the board or while attending the board meeting shall be removed from the room by the police and security officers, if so directed by the presiding officer, without additional warning. I would like to remind each speaker that you have 3 minutes to speak. When you arrive at the microphone, please state your name and address. Our first speaker is Richard Sheridan, followed by Pastor Vincent Parker.
Yes, good evening. My name is Richard Sheridan, live at 11661 Dennis Road, Dallas, Texas, and contrary to some people's opinion, I'm not the menace on Dennis. The menace on Dennis. Suggestions on the upcoming trustee election and the opening of 2 schools. I will start off by saying that I am a very controversial person. I involve myself in some of the most difficult social political issues like racism, poverty, homelessness, the Trinity River Project, redistricting, DART's paratransit services, our state's prison system, and vote fraud. I have been called many names by some politicians, by the media, which was just shown again in Matthew Haig's Tuesday's Dallas Morning News article, in which he called me, quote, anti-gay gadfly, and wrote that my speeches are rambling diatribes. Did I get that right, Mr. Haig? Is Mr. Haig here? And security, please keep an eye on Mr. Haig and myself during the course of this evening. 1, the resolutions ordering a general election to approve the joint election contract and election services agreement between the Dallas County Elections Administrator and DISD, not to exceed $322,000. Is vote fraud real? Have some Dallas residents been involved in vote fraud court cases with indictments and guilty findings in courts of law? Were there public outcries 2 years ago in the Commission's Court because of the firing of a long-time elections administrator and his replacement by a political ally of a very controversial commissioner who is still under a grand jury investigation? I have been banned not only from speaking at the Commission's Court, but even banned from being in the building for 6 months and then a year because I dared speak about vote fraud in all of its aspects, from mail-in ballot vote fraud, false ID vote fraud, electronic voting machine vote fraud, and all of the nefarious activities at the polls. I personally have experienced, I said that already, if we all don't agree that vote fraud is real, we might as well stop voting. But you know, most people have stopped voting. Why? Apathy, because it doesn't matter what they vote, who they vote for. Same old, same old. What can DIS do to assure a constitutional election on May 10th? Save $300,000 and conduct the election in DISD schools, conducted by teachers and citizens, volunteers, that only use paper ballots. There's a number of countries that went to electronic voting machines and then said, no, this is not working. Go back to the old-fashioned paper ballots. It's a small election. You can do it for a lot less money. And the money that you save, you can pay for the school supplies by the teachers who can't afford to buy the school supplies, but out of their own hearts, they spend their own money. And approving the reopening of the Hawley Elementary and Fraser Elementary School at a cost of $8+ million. It's great that the DSD is further focusing on the importance of early education. 2 things can be done, though, to address poverty. Trammell Crow CEO said that poverty is 2/3 of the problem of education. 2/3 of the problem of education is not in the classroom. So how about an incentive, a monetized incentive to the students, give them some money, motivate them, motivate the parents, and they can maybe buy food, and then influence the city to grow South Dallas to grow
Thank you.
DISD
Your time has
schools
expired.
JAWS program to employ the poor in the communities, poor parents in the communities surrounding the school.
Thank you. Your time has expired. Pastor Vincent Parker, followed by Patricia Williams.
Good evening. My name is Vincent Parker. I serve in a community called The Bottom in North Oak Cliff, Texas, I guess. You've seen me before. You know why I'm here. I'm supporting the opening of our league. There's a couple of things, I don't need to talk about the program. There's a couple of things I do want to mention as you make a decision this evening. I've heard much in the last couple of weeks about the desire to do impact studies and maintenance agreements and financial studies and that kind of thing. I want to ask you as you make a decision, did you make those kinds of studies when you closed the schools? Did you do a comprehensive community impact study? Did you look at how a school impacts a neighborhood, just not the bottom line financial situation? I don't think so. All I ever heard was, we need to close it for financial considerations. But yet we will spend tens of millions of dollars for contractor service, consultants, with armies of connections to the vast pool of money that's needed to support this school system. Study after study is made to help you make informed decisions that impact, but many of them don't directly impact the students or the welfare of the children in the neighborhood. I'm asking you to do a couple of things. One, in your decision-making grid this evening, when you consider the opening of our league, would you consider how it impacts, a school impacts the community? In some neighborhoods, a healthy neighborhood, or considered a healthy neighborhood, a school is a reflection of the various resources in that community. In a community like where Harlee is, where there are social and economic challenges, a school is a generator, not a reflection of, it's a generator for community development. It's an economic and social investment in the fabric and the viability and the future of a community. And if this board can't see the need to invest in a neighborhood in which DISD's flagship school, then we will continue to pay the cost for the decisions beyond our control in this neighborhood. This community, Harlee, has demonstrated its ability to collaborate with businesses and nonprofits, for-profits, community stakeholders, neighbors, students. We've collaborated with universities like the Texas A&M Commerce, City Hall staff, and yes, even DISD staff. We have done everything that a community at this level could be asked to do. But we've also earned the right not only to be heard, but we've also earned the right to be respected for what we've done and what we're attempting to do. You have much to consider. I don't envy your position, but I do know you have a responsibility, not just to individuals, not for the particular stakeholder, but you have a responsibility to all.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
I'm going to ask all those who are here in support of Harlee if you would stand.
Patricia Williams, followed by Libby Lee.
My name is Patricia Williams, Executive Director of American Care Academy, a child care provider within the 10th Street Historic District, not too far from Golden Gate and not too far from Elway's Land Recreation Center. We are a Texas Rising Star provider, and we are in the process of receiving our accreditation soon. We have been in operation for over 12 years, right in 10th Street, providing child care services to children 6 weeks old up to 12 years of age. Our center is minutes away from NW Harlee, and it is my hope that each year we come together to discuss what we need to do to enhance the education of a disadvantaged child. We have made much progress since I began this journey educating kids 12 years ago. I want to pay tribute to everyone, Educational First Steps, who is our partner, DISD teachers, the DISD board, school leaders, community leaders, and parents for a job well done. I know that your task is not easy, however, we need more support, we need more unity as we educate the children at an early age. Our community is growing, and we need your help within the community to ensure that the children who do not have access to child care assistance are not left out of the equation. Some are on the waiting list to receive child care and therefore have to take their children to work with them. For example, one parent within the community earns $200 a week, has 2 children in after school, and 1 child 3 years old in my center. Much development has to take place within the 3-year-old because she has never been in a learning environment. Of the $200, the parent was paying me $125 to American Care Academy, leaving her $75 to live with within 1 week. As a community, the child should be enrolled in Harley Academy and provide a wraparound resource to succeed. We need to identify those who need to help early at no cost to the parent, so that the child does not fall so far behind and become discouraged. To make all schools even better schools, we must wrap around all of the resources within the community, get the parents involved, get the PTA involved, and determine what the needs are within the community. And finally, American Care Academy will engage in the efforts of the collaboration in educating preschool children at an early age. And supporting NW Harley, we will ensure students are provided quality care before and after school. We care and cherish for the children within the community, and we welcome the opening of NW Harley.
Libby Lee, followed by Charles Jefferson.
Good evening. My name is Libby Lee, and I am the director of the Golden Seeds Foundation, which is a community development initiative for the Golden Gate Baptist Church. It's located at 1128 Reverend C.B.T. Smith Street. I'm proud to say to you this evening as well that I am an honored graduate of the Dallas Independent School District. But today I am here to address you, to encourage you to vote approval on behalf of the reopening of NW Harley as a pre-K 4 through 5 school. I represent a group of people for this community. We've been in collaboration for more than 3 years. They include former Dallas Independent School District educators, administrators. There are community partners from the Dallas the Dallas Recreation Center, and as well as public and private organizations that have joined us, including Texas A&M University. And of course, we're so proud to have the resources and knowledge of Dr. Rosie Sorrells as a part of our committee and our collaboration. You chose to name a school for her at Townview. And so that says to me that she brought a significant component to this. And I just don't want us to be guilty tonight, and would encourage you not to be caught up in this whole private enterprise versus the value of public educators. They are so, you know best what children need. And so we would want to see and encourage you strongly to support your own initiative to get out ahead of early childhood education and be there and have your staff set the standards and not rely on private enterprise to make this thing happen. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Dr. Sorrells and the Texas A&M University and the Golden Gate Church, I appreciate this time before you.
Charles Jefferson, followed by Carol Mayo. Carol Mayo, followed by Karen Medlock.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Miles. Thank you for this opportunity to address the Board of Education regarding the potentials for Julia Frazier Early Childhood Center My name is Carol A.O. I'm a former DISD employee, but I continue to be involved with children in the district through various social services organizations which I am affiliated, one of them being the Zan Wesley Home Community Outreach Center. I would like to address one of the most important long-term benefits of opening Fraser as a center with wraparound services. We talked about the advantages of early childhood education, and I'm sure everybody knows the statistics and the benefits of early childhood education. But I think we should also focus on this type of center serving as a stimulus for parental involvement. We talk about the low achievement levels of our students across the district. We've tried a lot of different things to get parents involved and engaged in the educational system, and a community-based center such as the one we're talking about at Harley, as well as Julia Fraser, would give the district an opportunity to try some new strategies for parental involvement. In many instances, you will be meeting parents at their point of need by providing activities such as child care, GED education, after-school programs, GED, social support services. All these things would help to engage parents as supporters of the district and supporters of the children. This center can help us become better partners with our parents, and we can use this as an opportunity to help them with issues that they are having along the lines of the services that are being proposed. I would encourage the board to consider all these objectives and all the benefits that can come from having such a center in our neighborhoods, and that this will become a strong school community collaborative effort in the Dallas ISD. Thank you.
Karen Medlock, followed by Chastity Masters.
Good evening, board members. My name is Karen Medlock, and I'm here tonight to encourage you to vote yes to reopen the Fraser Elementary School as an early childhood center with wraparound services. If you reopen Fraser with these services, it will be beneficial because it will provide a great educational start for the children of that community, and it will consolidate existing services for the whole community. Reopening Fraser as an early childhood center with wraparound services will have a long-term, life-changing effect on the Fraser community and will certainly add a golden dimension to the Grow South efforts. The Fraser community needs this and wants this. Please put your stated love and concern into action and vote to reopen Fraser. Thank you.
Chastity Masters, followed by Joyce Foreman.
First of all, we need to know basically what area that's in. As a parent and as a mentor, that's in the area of the East Dallas Projects area. There's a lot of parents and a lot of community residents over there that have kids and grandkids that are 3 and 4 years old that can't afford daycare. So the children are basically just sitting home all day with no proper education. They're not getting any type of education. So if we open up Julius Fraser as a 3 and 4 pre-K, I'm pretty sure that'll give them the adequate education that they need at the time. That's very important because many children in their area fall between the cracks. So if they're not getting the education that they need, along with the overcrowding of the schools in their area because of the closing of Julius Fraser from last year, I'm pretty sure that'll give them the education they need, that'll give them the role models they need, and the help that they need socially to survive in the area.
Joyce Foreman, followed by Elizabeth Weller.
Excuse my voice, but I'm here. My name is Joyce Foreman. I reside at 6300 Rock Canyon Trail in Dallas. My question to you tonight is, what is more important, having classrooms that are conducive to learning, which affects the children that we all say we are here to serve, or buying an office tower downtown that the owner says is not for sale and hasn't been since 2010. A building that will isolate the overbloated administration from the people. By the way, if you pay the owner 3 times what the building was worth 3 years ago, the owner will take the deal, wouldn't you? Children first or adults first? On another note, the purchase of real estate should be handled by real estate professionals. Just the fact that your CFO said that the way he found out about the location was that he Googled it should have raised questions in your mind. This is a man who is in charge of $1 billion budget, and he wants to spend $15 million based on a Google search. Board members, you are the final voice for the people, and I ask you to seek professional help regarding a consolidation plan of administrative offices. Please make sure these questions are answered before you make your decision. What are the critical needs for campuses that recently were reported by Parsons? How much has been spent on laying fiber optics on these locations that you will abandon? Compare insurance on the new facility to the currently leased facilities. Will the district have to pay into the 2 downtown tips? What was the appraised value of the property for the last 3 years? What other properties or options have been looked at for consolidation for the administration? Who's connected to in any way with Boxer Realty? Will there be an additional cost to putting in fiber optics downtown? When you abandon the current leases, what will you pay? Parking, parking, parking. Parking for the people. Parking. Please do not make a rush decision. You must give full disclosure before you make your decision. Some children are in situations that are detriment to learning. There are other situations just like Griner in your district, President Cowan, that was at almost 200% capacity, and Truett in your district, Mr. Mitch K., that was the neediest of a new building. The children await your support and your show of support. Children first or adults first. And open all the schools that you close. We want them opened.
Elizabeth Weller, followed by Shawana Washington.
My name is Elizabeth Weller. I reside at 2720 Wimbledon Court, Carrollton, Texas. I'm the mother of 3 children who've attended DISD. One's graduated, but I've got a while to go for the other 2. I originally signed up to speak on 2 agenda items, items 6 and 7 on the consent agenda. However, first I want to recognize some individuals who's helped me resolve my concerns with one of those items, and I think we've reached a resolution that everyone will benefit from. First, Barbara Johnson, the Director of Health and PE Department, who for over a year has been answering my questions and conveying my concerns to various people at the district. Second, Ann Smisko, Chief of Academic Improvement and Accountability. Although we may disagree on some of the issues I've brought forth, her professionalism and responsiveness is greatly appreciated. And finally, my District 1 Trustee Elizabeth Jones and Trustee Mike Morath, who've helped resolve these issues as well. I'm going to speak now to consent agenda item number 6. It may surprise you to know that many colleges are limiting the AP credits they will accept. In researching colleges for my daughter, who's currently a junior, I found schools that won't accept credit for certain classes, including English, calculus, and world history, basic AP classes that many students take, or limit the number of courses you can get AP credit for, or only give credit with a score of a 4 or even a 5. However, all the colleges I've looked at accept dual credit courses just like any other transfer credit. DISD penalizes students who take dual credit over AP by awarding fewer class rank points. A 95 in a dual credit course is worth 5 class rank points less than an 85 in an AP course. Students should not have to choose between taking the class most likely to earn college credit and class rank points, class rank being so important in Texas with the top 10% rule. The proposal before the board will rectify this for next year's 9th graders. But I feel if it is good policy for them, it is good for our current 9th through 11th graders, and they should have the benefit of this policy change next year as well. Schedules for next year have not been set. Now is the time to make this change for all students to benefit. This will also coincide with DISD's emphasis on every student having access to more college-level classes on campus by increasing the demand for dual credit and making it easier for principals to get staff on campus to teach those courses. There's no downside that I can see in making this policy change of dual credit classes getting the same rank points as AP to benefit all students. Thank you.
Shawana Washington, followed by Quadrille Forrest.
How's that?
President Cowan, trustees, and Superintendent Miles. My name is Shawana Washington, 334 Center Street, Dallas, Texas, 75208, and I'm a support employee for the district. I'm speaking this evening on agenda item 8826. Consider and take possible actions to authorize, negotiate, and enter into a contract with H2U Wellness Centers, LLC for up to 5 on-site health clinics for employees and dependents. As a current employee of Dallas ISD, this proposal makes me smile. Investing in on-site health clinics for employees and their dependents as a preventive measure gives me the opportunity to stay healthy so that I can continue to make positive impact on the lives of colleagues, district employees, and the students in Dallas ISD through my work. It allows me to perform my duties to the best of my ability because I'm not stressed about making it to a doctor's appointment on time or being off my job when I'm sick. Everyone knows how hard it is to be gone from work because everything piles up while you're away. Having an employee clinic to access is a positive benefit that works well for most all employees. And having the ability to include employees' children in the access is an added bonus. Thank you for recognizing our needs and taking positive action. Thank you for showing that we are valuable enough for you to invest in our well-being. This is a much appreciated move in the right decision in the right direction, and I encourage each of you to vote yes for agenda item 8826. Thank you for your time and service.
Quadrille Forrest, followed by Diane Birdwell.
Yes, my name is Quadrille Forrest, and I'm a high school graduate, but I'm here today to we have allocated our leaders to serve the people, to do the best for us, but instead it is the opposite. So what I'm saying is, what is the quality of your servitude, and how much and how deep is the depth of your love for us, the youth? Our manipulative education system has nothing to do with learning. Instead, it is developed and funded by dominant banking families to condition or enthrall youth to following politically correct orders. They control the content of our textbooks and transfer of all essential information. Our schools are indoctrination camps to brainwash our children into following or submit to authority subconsciously. They are imposing evolution theory instead of observational science. In our public schools, it aims at the core of our creation. They have manipulated our handbooks, and students are being indoctrinated by these confusing terms. So this is seriously preposterous, and if we so-called care for our youth in this free world, we should guide and teach them the way that we should care for their future. But instead, we have a class on gym. We have a class on gym? Okay. This is spiritually profane and morally obscene. On the other hand, we have the prison pipeline. Too many of our kids are not following through, and they're being held back and being left behind. We have 159,000 students in the DISD district and 32% poverty rate, 32% dropout rate. 32% dropout rate, 159 students, okay. It has an effect on our workforce because the students are not being properly trained to be a part of that workforce. So we have to get that in order, please, since we allocated y'all, or designated y'all to be our educational leaders, please. I care for the youth. I just graduated. But the question I ask is, we most need to ask about the effects of your teachers teaching us. Does it enable students to imagine and perhaps to enjoy the ways of life different from their own? Thank you.
Diane Birdwell, followed by Sheila Walker.
Good evening, I'm Diane Birdwell. I live at 5705 Meadowick Lane, Dallas, and I'm here on behalf of NEA Dallas, where I've just been elected secretary. I'm back on the board of directors there. People often think I just yell and scream at y'all. They think that I write too much on the Dallas Morning News blogs, and they think that I'm trying to cause trouble. They also think I never go through my chain of command. Yes, I do yell when I'm being ignored. Yes, I write a lot because the teacher's point of view is often ignored. No, I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm trying to get common sense in this building. I'm trying to make those above me aware that the greatest asset they have are the experienced teachers who have been here long before them and will be here long after them. And yes, I do go through my chain of command, but usually the ones right above me are just as ignored as I am. In mid-January, I asked my principal to request the raw scores, the actual test results from the ACP. You see, we've had these for the last 12 years that I know of, so I know how my kids actually did, as well as the scaled score. But no answer came through my chain of command, so I went to a trustee who asked the senior staff on this front row, some who have not been in a classroom since I was in high school in the 70s. And the main indication of why so many people are leaving DISD, the answer they gave him was they did not need the actual score because it's a scaled score, that the ACPs, like the SAT and PSAT and so on, don't need to have the raw scores. No, we need the raw scores because my quizzes are not scaled, my 6 weeks exams are not scaled, and my spot observations are not scaled. You see, when we do our tests on Eduphoria, if a kid makes a 48%, it says in big letters that they did not meet mastery, and I have to explain it to my principal. So let me tell you how DISD has done it. In 2011, on the fall ACP for U.S. history, the DISD's whole average for the district for that test was 56.6%. Write that down. And they scaled it to 74.7. We had both of those scores, so we know the kid made a 74 on the test, but it was really 56. So we know whether they needed tutoring or not for the tax test. Got it? 74.7. Then in 2012, the same thing, same test, the DISD dropped 0.3% overall. 0.3% to a 59.3, but because of scaling, now the score was 67.8. That's a 6.9% point drop based on 0.3% actual drop. So it looked like more teachers were doing worse when in fact they were doing the same. So I go to open mic, I get nothing. I talk to a second trustee, I talk to a third trustee, they ask questions, and guess what? I turned on my data portal today, and guess what? Guess what? It's there. You see, I had to go through all of that to get what was already mine, my own information from my own students. They want to tie this to my test scores, my employment, you better know what they're telling you, because right now in my group, 47 equals a 69, a 36 is a 63, 48.4 was a 70, but a 25.8 score gave the kid a 57. Tell me where in the world a parent would think 57 equals a 25 actual score.
Thank you.
That's what they're doing. They don't tell you the truth and they want to keep it from us. Thank you.
Sheila Walker, followed by Ozumba Lunks.
Good evening. My name is Sheila Walker and I reside at 10707 Big Thicket Drive in Dallas. I come here today talking also with Diane, talking about the test. But the test is for the elementary that I'm questioning. We are testing our babies from kindergarten through 2nd grade. Babies, kindergarten through 2nd grade. What is this measuring? When the scores come back, they're not showing up on anything. It became personal to me when I got home one day and my granddaughter was sitting there crying because she got a 67 on a test and she makes 90s. She was crying, and then she got the paper that shows that she made a 67, crying because she failed a test, and when she got a report card, it's not even averaged in. So what is the purpose? What is the purpose of us testing our babies, kindergarten through 2nd grade, for what? My grandson go to school in Mesquite. They have tests, but they're not measured on anything. They just measure the kids where they are. They give them a test every 3 weeks or every 9 weeks to see where the students are, see where they're growing. Doesn't go on a report card, doesn't do anything. They are not stressed out by taking a test. They come in, okay, we take these tests, we see where we're going, and then they go on to the next thing. And those children are moving. At our school, another thing I'm concerned about is the ACPs that we're giving for the specials tests. Here we go again. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, giving ACPs in PE, art, and music. For what? Who are you grading? The art teacher has to send portfolios of her students across to her specialist for the specialist to grade with the students' ID numbers and names. Have we had consent forms signed by the parents? No. To this day, she don't even have the scores back yet. The music teacher just got her scores back at the beginning of February. Grades are not on the report cards. Why are we over testing our students? Another thing, when the art teacher, we have art contests at our school that they enter every year. This year, the art teacher have been so stressed, haven't even entered an art contest because they're focusing on the test. We are stressing our principals out, we're stressing our teachers out, and therefore we're stressing our students out. We need to stop testing. I want to thank Mr. Miles for coming to our membership meeting at NEA and explaining the evaluation system, but we still don't understand it. We're not in agreement with it, and where is the money going to come from? We need to stop dangling money in front of the teachers and correct the evaluation system and get it right. We need to start back teaching and stop testing. Thank you.
Ozamba Lance, followed by Robert Ceccarelli.
Hello, trustees. My name is Ozuma Wagalu Lunks, formerly Adam Woods. I'm here today in memory of Coach Raymond E. Holly, and I'm appealing to you all concerning Coach Raymond E. Holly, who was at Booker T. Washington, I know, in 1939, and probably a little earlier than that. That's what I found out about from my godmother. He was my football coach and track coach from 62 to 1964. I followed Coach Holly from Booker T. to Roosevelt. He went a half semester in 63, and I followed over in 64. I followed him. Coach Holly is one of the best, if not the best, track and football coaches that we know of and have talked about over the years. But you know, then schools were segregated, and Coach Holly was a black coach. You know, I'll be 68 this May the 13th. But for some reason, he got lost in the shuffle. What I mean by that is we sell Raymond E. Holly relays. I don't think we have those anymore, and we have other stadiums named after other coaches and stuff. But Coach Holly was one of the greatest, and I would like to appeal to you all to, if another stadium is built or we have other relays, bring back the Raymond E. Holly relay or put a stadium in Raymond E. Holly's name. He deserves it. There are some that don't. I'm not going to call any names. I won't do that. So what I want to say is that the funniest thing that ever happened to me in track was when I was running against Sunset James White. And he got me. But I had a step on him. And he ran a 9.5 that day, I think a 9.6 they said I did. But we were side by side. We probably both ran about a 9.5. But anyway, one funny thing that happened to me, and I remember, you know, of course, Mr. White was a white man, and on black, we were segregated. I ran against him in the Texas Federation meet in 1964, was it 63? Because the writing not on him, a scrapbook about to fall apart. This is my 100-yard dash medal record here, a medal from Booker T, and a 220-yard record medal here from Booker T. Washington. I hold the 100-yard dash record, and it won't get broke because we don't run the 100-yard dash anymore. We run the 100-meter. So my name will be there down forever now. I hold the 100-yard dash record with Booker T. But anyway, Mr. White had asthma, and I didn't know it. This is what I was told. We were running side by side, heading for the finish line. And I had a step on Mr. White. He was Red Hero. So he went, and I almost grabbed him and said, man, are you all right? And he got me off, and he beat me. I don't know if that was a joke or what, but if you remember, they said he had asthma, you know. So he had asthma. But I'm saying, like, I want to trade this silver medal there with Mr. White, and I want my gold medal. He played a good one on me. He got me good. And I walked up to the stand, and I talked to Coach Dallas, man. He scared me, man. I wanted to grab him and ask him whether he all right. I started to run off the track. He was blowing down my back, right on my shoulder. He was to the right, and I was here. God bless you all. Let's bring Coach Holly back. Give him what he deserved. He's one of the best and the greatest. Coach Raymond E. Holly, my coach. Love you, Coach Holly.
Your time has expired. Robert Ceccarelli, followed by William Hopkins.
Good evening, everybody. First, I want to talk about the 3-month growth plan that's expired a couple months ago. Mr. Cowan, why the cover up? Why are you so quiet about Mike Miles' evaluation about himself? He should be treated the same way he treated the principals last year. Mr. Blackburn, Ms. Ranger, Ms. Nuttall, AFT, please put pressure on him. Why has not been anything said about it? Miles loved to get rid of the principals. Why hasn't Mike Miles done the same thing? If he failed, he should go too. Why? Is it a big secret? Especially I want to talk about the AFT. They need to really be pressuring Mike Miles. Mike Miles has KO'd him, embarrassed him, and everything else, and they've kept quiet for months. The AFT, I'm not saying about new leadership, but they really need to get aggressive and fight back. Ms. Nuttall, Blackburn, Ranger, please do the same. Mike Miles has got to go if he's failed, but the public needs to know why it hasn't been kept a secret. The second thing I need to talk about is the mayor on Saturday. I asked him about Woodrow Wilson High School. 5% of the blacks, 40% of the whites were college ready. That was written by Jim Schultz of the Observer. The mayor said it's because of poverty. This is the first time I heard the mayor ever say this. Mike Miles has never said anything about the poverty problem in Dallas. I haven't heard any school board trustees except probably Ms. Nuttall. I haven't heard the AFT say anything about it. Poverty is a problem that needs to be treated. 2 years ago, Lincoln High School, I'll say it again, the students didn't show up for tutoring. They need to be kept in the classroom to learn. The block schedule, sir, that you threw out for the lower performing schools needs to be kept because that's where the time is for tutoring after instruction period. You put a regular schedule back in where they're not going to do any work because of the family dysfunction. Sir, you need to address this immediately and do something about this, and school board trustees need to bring this up. Also, I would like to see the mayor, Miles, and the school board trustees meet with the students in the auditorium and let them know what needs to be done for them to succeed. Hard work, discipline, patience. I never heard Mike Miles say that. The AFT needs to bring that up also. They need to get on Miles to put pressure on the students instead of the teachers. Also, behavior. Mr. Miles, you said about accountability of the students that they get a high school diploma. Sir, you were hired to get them college ready. So why are you telling us a high school diploma is satisfactory if we expect the college readiness? Sir, school board trustees, do your job. Get us about that growth plan.
Thank you.
If
Your time has
he's got to go.
William Hopkins, followed by Sylvia Gomez. Sylvia Gomez, followed by Miriam Lara.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Sylvia Gaines. I'm at 2611 Fordham Road in Dallas, Texas. I'm a parent and a grandparent with students in DISD. I thank you for this opportunity to speak here tonight. I'm coming to speak to you regarding concerns that we have on the campus and administration at W.W. Bushman's. Excuse me. As a parent, we feel changes are taking place without community input. My son was given an order form for a t-shirt with a new logo. We have had a pirate mascot ever since the beginning. Now, it's changing, as you can see with the paperwork that you have in front of you. As a parent, I am all for change, but when the change takes place without including the parents and the community, I have a problem with that. Also, not to mention, it's embarrassing for the kids that can't afford the t-shirts. The mascot change is not the only concern that I have here tonight. I have removed my son from W.W. Bushman because he was being mistreated there by the teachers. Okay, now I have him in another DISD school. Not to say all DISD schools are bad, because his special needs are being met at this other school. And I thank you for listening to me tonight, and please consider, reading the pamphlet that I have in there with you all. Thank you.
Miriam Laura, followed by Jose Hernandez.
Good evening, President Cowan, school board members, and Superintendent Mike Miles. My name is Miriam Lara. I live in 5499 West Davis Street, apartment 2033, Dallas, Texas 75211. I am a 5th grade bilingual teacher at Mary McLeod Bethune Elementary. I have been serving the Dallas Independent School District for 7 years as a teacher, grade level chair, SILT representative, and LPAC co-chair. I am here today to ask you for your support on behalf of the H-1B visa teachers. As teachers, we constantly strive to give the best academic instructions to our students. That's what we are here for. Every day we walk into a classroom, we pray the day will be filled with positive experiences. We pray, please help our kids learn. We also try to inspire our minority students to look beyond their neighborhoods, to achieve a college education. We talk about where we came from and where we are heading, what our purpose is as educated citizens. We are stakeholders at the forefront of 2 national debates. One where the United States is trying to elevate the educational standards to prepare globally competitive citizens, and another where there is a growing need to invest in multilingual education. What parent would not dream to have doctors, engineers, and accountants from some of the best universities around the world teaching their children? The Dallas Independent School District is able to provide parents with this opportunity. The Dallas Independent School District is at the forefront of the national educational debates. We have highly qualified international professionals serving as bilingual teachers. Our job is to make sure our multilingual students will see their high school graduation day. Esteemed board members, you have unprecedented potential in your teaching ranks. We have traded a comfortable life in our home countries near our loved ones for a promising challenge. We came to teach Dallas youth because we believe we will make a difference in our students' lives. Why are years of service being thrown out the window? Just when we are being recognized as leaders in our schools, why are our careers being stalled? How do we explain to our students that sometimes in life, no matter how many doors you knock, no one will answer when you need help? Will you, esteemed board members, hear our voices and open the door for us? On behalf of the H-1B teachers, please allow us to seek our own legal representation. Please see that our labor applications are being submitted in a timely manner, and please continue to sponsor us. Our profession matters. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening.
Our last speaker is Jose Hernandez.
Good evening, President Cowan, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, Mike Miles. My name is Jose Hernandez, 2014 Sancerre Lane, Carrollton, Texas, 75007. I'm a lifelong learner that has the privilege to be part of the great FB Calle elementary team. My journey with Dallas ISD started 7 years ago as a Dallas ISD Alternative Certification Intern, and I hope it doesn't end soon. Tonight, I would like to express my most sincere gratitude for the unconditional support you have provided to the H-1B visa program. The program directly benefits the ISD bilingual students. This program also brings diversity and enrichment to the ISD human capital. The H-1B visa program provides opportunities for development of leadership. In addition, it fosters commitment, and it is certainly founded on excellence. Moreover, the program has grown to a degree where evidence indicates imminent room for improvement. That is why, tonight, I call for your diligent and sensible support to the H-1B visa program. Thank you and good night.
This concludes our speakers.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.